Where you have women who are empowered, safe in an environment, financially independent, they're less prone to violence.
I need to know much less about someone's diagnosis than I need to know about their experience.
Prevention practitioners need to be thinking outside of the box.
Real inclusion starts with respect and be part of the solution.
Hi, my name's Talitha. I'm the Family Violence Disability Practice Leader.
My name's Laura. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm very privileged to live on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Hi, my name's Annabelle. I live and work in regional Victoria, and I live with multiple invisible disabilities.
Hi, I'm Christine, and this is my assistant's dog, Sammy.
Hello, my name's Renee. I am a First Nations woman. I am a Biripi Dunghutti woman currently living on Wadawurrung country. I am a disability and gender justice advocate and a mum and an auntie and a painter and a donut lover.
The 6 essential actions are designed to show our community how we fight ableism and discrimination to be able to show up as allies in the context of violence against women and girls with disabilities. Action 1. Address the underlying social context that gives rise to violence against women and girls with disabilities.
I think there are a variety of ways that we can address ableism and gender inequity in our workplaces and our communities. For example, building access and inclusion into budgets and project planning from the beginning. Having policies in place that might include disability leave so that employees with disability aren't penalised or don't have to use, say, their annual leave or personal leave for appointments that are related to their disability. Having a process in place for employees to report and share instances of ableism and having a system and a leadership team that recognises that ableism and acts appropriately when it's reported.
We've been doing an auditing project to help businesses identify within their customer service, within their human resources and recruitment, within their communications and internal and external media within their company, how they themselves are perceiving and communicating about people with disabilities, whether or not they have within their organisation women with disabilities who work with them, who work for them, who use their services, and where the barriers are that stop them from being more involved.
If we implement those things, what we're doing is allowing women and girls with disabilities to work at their best, because we're creating a space where they are safe and they can flourish in an environment that encourages that flourishing.
Action 2. Challenge the acceptance and normalisation of violence against women and girls with disabilities.
I work as an equality advocate, and we use changing the landscape as the basis for many of our programs. We particularly use Action 2 to educate people that violence against women and girls with disabilities is not the norm, and it should never be treated as the norm.
It's not hard to become disconnected from a subject when they're a piece of paper in front of you, but when they're a living, breathing human with feelings and thoughts and emotions, and they're at a table saying, if you write this policy, or if you allow this to happen, it's going to damage a lot of people, or it's going to cause harm, and, we don't want to do that.
Action 3. Improve attitudes towards women and girls with disabilities by challenging ableist and sexist stereotypes. In the context of my own role, we are addressing the unconscious bias that exists as a society, that women and girls with disabilities have reduced parenting capacity, and to make sure that children who have disabilities are considered and the voice of the child is heard and seen. How do we draw on existing information from the service systems that are already engaged with the person so that we're not having to re-traumatise the person, or that the responsibility in terms of that person's access needs doesn't always have to sit with the person themselves. Organisations can take part of that responsibility themselves and ask, how do we need to show up? How do we need to improve responses? And be committed to wanting to make those improvements. Action 4. Promote the inclusion of women and girls with disabilities in all aspects of life. I think all prevention practitioners need to be thinking outside of the box. In service delivery, in accessibility, we always say that accessibility is more than a building. It doesn't matter if there is a ramp, if there is a lift to your service, if that isn't a safe space, or if the service delivery doesn't actually meet that person's support needs. Services could implement this practice by consulting with community to ask about how do we improve engagement for people with disabilities? What questions do we need to be asking? What questions don't we need to ask?
If we planned our workplace and our work environment to suit everybody, not just disabled people, we'd have a more active and successful workforce. Prior to COVID, disabled people were largely told, well, if you can't come in and do this job, you can't do the job and you're not getting it. COVID proved we can be very, very productive from home. I can sit in the comfort of my desk, in familiar surroundings, and do my work and earn a living and have financial independence. And it's that financial independence and that sense of productivity and success and being involved that helps prevent violence against women. Where you have women who are empowered, safe in an environment, financially independent, they're less prone to violence.
Action 5. Promote women and girls with disabilities' independence, agency and participation in leadership and decision making.
For me, as an occupational therapist, I'm actually there to be a resource for them. It's actually my vested responsibility to create that environment whereby they are leading that conversation. If someone is feeling safe enough with me that they can say, yes, I agree, that might seem like the best solution, but I can't, and is able and safe enough to say why they can't, that is partnership. That is true inclusion and access, because what you've created is the ability for them to have not just choice, but control over the way in which your decisions influence their life.
I can speak firsthand by being a disabled person and being in a senior position that we do that very well. We recognise that people with disabilities have knowledge, just like everybody else. And I think by showing other services that we have people with disabilities in those leadership positions, we can start to challenge the thinking behind only having able-bodied people in senior and leadership positions, and nurturing that disability pride and how that can actually show up as a superpower. If my disability pride is low, so is my efficiency at work. If my superpower can be unlocked, I'm unstoppable. Action 6. Engage men and boys to challenge controlling, dominant and aggressive forms of masculinity.
I think it's about allowing men to realise that it's okay to be gentle, and that it's okay to be vulnerable, and that it's okay to not always have it happening all the time, or not always be in control. For First Nations men, and I don't see why other men can't be included in that. Programs that allow men to go and connect with something that they might not be able to speak to, and using alternative forms of communication to allow that connection, or using non-standard ways of engaging with people. So not having them sit in a boardroom, having them go through, anti-racism or anti-sexism training. It's about starting at that very early social age where we start interacting with other people and we learn all these things that may or not be expressed explicitly.
Overcoming some of the ideas men have about masculinity is a very slow and long and arduous process. Doesn't mean we shouldn't try. We encourage men to share their feelings. And even if those feelings are negative, maybe if we can bring them out and get them to talk about it and listen to an alternative view of that thought, sow the seed and see how it grows, I guess. Challenging ableism is hard. It takes bravery and courage. People come in all shapes and sizes with varying abilities, and how we can better accommodate, especially disabled women, to help them feel safer and less threatened in an environment.